Right, let's build that cake now, what we just made. So I use thick cream. I've just whipped some extra thick cream with a little bit of icing sugar. I'm going to put that in first. And on top of that, I'm going to put some jam. I've just made this jam. It's delicious. It's still a bit warm. Shouldn't really wait until it totally cools down. Everything else is cool. Right. So we just got put some jam. Like that. Okay, then we're going to put the middle layer. Right, like that. Cool. And then we put some more cream. And we're going to make salted caramel ice cream. It's already in an ice cream maker. I haven't turned it on yet. But I'm going to put strawberry. Okay, and we're going to put the top layer on. That's it. And just finish it off with cream. Like that. I'm making caramelized onion next, and burger and chips. Just dug up a few, is it a week ago, a couple of weeks ago, some Charlotte potatoes. They're absolutely gorgeous. Right, we can decorate it with the leftover strawberry. The Victoria sponge, homemade, homegrown homemade strawberry jam. And it's done. Just tidy up my mess now, and then we can try the cake. Good morning, it is the next day, and I just would like to show you the result what we've made yesterday. So we are going to open up the cheese, you know, from the mold, from the cheese press. Let's see how the cheese, what the cheese looks like. We are now ready to put this beautiful strawberry jam for our pantry shelf to enjoy it later. And let me tell you, this strawberry jam, it's delicious. Look how lovely that looks, and it tastes absolutely delicious. I'm so glad I didn't put 6 cups of sugar. Remember, we started with 2 kilograms of fruit, and I've put 4 cups of sugar in it. It's just perfect for us because that strawberry was already so sweet and beautiful. Let me show you the cake what we've also made. That turned out really, really well. We've already had some But look how beautiful that looks inside, and it tastes just as lovely. So yeah, that's our Victoria sponge, where we used our homemade jam and fresh strawberry on it. And now let's open the cheese and let's see what that looks like. Look at this cheese, what we've made together, the Monterey Jack cheese. It looks delicious. So I hope you enjoyed spending time with me in the kitchen. We've made strawberry jam, goat's cheese and a beautiful Victoria sponge. See you very soon. Bye friends. Welcome back to Adri's Homestead Life. It is 13th of July and it's Thursday, and I would like to show you my garden, what the garden's like in the summer. We are in a brassica cage, so welcome. We are going to start in a brassica cage. Let's see what's going on in here. Oh, look at this beautiful kohlrabi. That's ready for harvest. Look at this needy dog. Kohlrabi. We've got quite a few dill behind me. I was hanging onto this dill because I was waiting to have some gherkins and cucumbers so we can pickle some, but my gherkins are so behind that unfortunately it's just timing. These things are sometimes it's not easy. Here you go, love. So I can show you something in here. What we've got now growing. We've got some broccoli growing. And some more kohlrabi. So ready to harvest. And after I harvest the kohlrabi, the broccoli and a dill this month, I'm going to put some of these cabbages. So they are ready to now to go in. So and this will be hopefully our autumn winter harvest. And this side I've sown all these seeds. Actually I've sown in March, planted out in April, and they are ready to harvest. I was hoping to make a stuffed cabbage with this, but something's been attacked, look, and I think it's a slug, so it's all split. I really need to harvest that. And I've got quite a few spring cabbages now ready to harvest. So if I harvest the biggest one, that will give a room for around, you know, the next room to get ready. This is my only greyhound from last year. This has actually been here from last year. Look, I can harvest this very soon. Soon all these huge leaves. Honestly, look at the size of this leaf. That's massive. When they all close, I'm going to harvest. Right, this is the brassica cage in mid-July. Let's go. And I've also got the greyhound cabbages in here. That will go somewhere out. Probably when we're gonna harvest the potato or onion. Come on, girlies. Right, let's go this way. So the red hot poker is now over. That's it for this year. This next patch is my main crop potatoes, doing really well. Within the potatoes I've got some volunteer sunflowers growing, and some of them now in flower. Look how beautiful they are. I've got these darker colored ones, got bumblebee on it, and all these different ones. I love them. Borage grows back voluntarily every year. Bees love it, so I keep it. I've also freeze-dried the flowers. It's edible. I've also got some cornflower growing here, calendula, and the mullein. They all got medicinal properties, so I use them all, as well as the bees and the insects love it. Behind us, remember I had the compost bin area in here last few years, and now we've decided to make it as a raised bed. So what I've put in here, I've put a few corn, well you can't really see, but they come in up slowly. And I've got these beautiful rows of zinnia now in full bloom. How perfect. These are absolutely gorgeous flowers, and they're very good cut flowers. And this winter squash, now it's coming along nicely. The squash is now forming. I can see quite a few around. And this is one of my favorite variety. It goes all over the place now. So this is the hoop. I should have had now a nice beautiful growth of peas on this side. Crown Prince, I just remembered I was thinking about the variety of that squash, Crown Prince, in that log raised bed. But I had hard time with these peas. So they are still there, but it's been just constantly eaten down by the pigeons or in slugs. Also, I've got a row of white onion. It's not ready to harvest yet because they still not flipped over. They still standing tall. That's mean through the root they getting all the water up, and the bulb is still growing because this is still in very good condition. When it flips over, then it's ready to harvest. Like this one, look. This one is now ready to harvest because it's flipped over. That's mean it's stopped that nutrition and the water coming through the roots, and that this is now ready to harvest. I've got a volunteer courgette in here. Have a look. Some of them are ready to harvest. If you come this side, you can clearly see it. So I'm very happy for that. Every little matters. On the other side of the hoop, it's quite grown from the sweet pea and the borage, but we have a row of celery there, halfway and halfway on the coriander. And the coriander now, if you see, it's forming the little coriander seeds. We're just gonna wait till it turns brown and we can powder it for coriander powder. And on the other side, we've got the beans. They are just taking off really well. Look, this is literally happened the last few days when these little beans now started to form. So it's gonna be a bean harvest very soon in here. What we've got in here, we've got on this side of the tunnel, we've got 3 rows. We've got 1 row of beetroot. In the middle, we've got oca. You know, we eat the tubers. And in the back row, we've got the gherkin. But it's very slow, but it's something happening. What I'm a bit gutted about, because I was so looking forward to this yard-long bean, is supposed to have these really long beans, but they just there, and it's like in this meter, and just nothing happened. They just there like that for 3 months, hanging on, but nothing's happening. Haven't put an inch growth on within 4 months. So the cucumber, I've got some cucumber in here and some more beans growing up. In the middle, we've got the oca all the way. I've got this volunteer potato growing here in the corner, and plantain, and a bit of coriander now in flower. And then it flowers, they turn to these seeds. That's where the coriander seeds form. Okay, and if you go, look at this mullein jungle. I love it. I cannot grow a garden without flowers. So this is just like my way of gardening. It's just the balance, and it's just like how it works for me. I love the flowers and the vegetables together. It's going over now, but this was such a beautiful, this lily. It's still beautiful, but it's only got a few left. That was covered. It's absolutely gorgeous. So in here we've harvested the broad beans. I had an amazing broad bean harvest. So you just need to be tidied up now and weeded. That big tall thing is a Jerusalem artichoke. The alliums are now flipping a bit over. But my dahlias, I love my dahlias. Well, I've made a mistake here. I planted 3 squash, but it's actually still tiny because this was grown all over. That was in, you know, I've just weeded it, but I don't think so. That's a jumbo pink banana. I'm not sure if anything's gonna happen now. They just come into flower now. They're still really small, these 3 squash in here. However, look at my gladiolus. They're not supposed to be here because I've moved them from here to the other side, but I must have missed a few tubers and they are absolutely gorgeous. Look how pretty they are. Very, very nice. Okay, if we get through somehow through the allium, if we can, another beautiful red dahlia left in here. So, and these are my onions now from the other side of the tunnel, and that is now ready to harvest. You know, this is the same variety, the Sensu, what I've planted in here as a bulb in last year in the autumn, and it's ready to harvest now. I've also had lots of onions and garlic in this bed in here, what we've harvested already, end of June, and I've planted, we've got a couple of Cabis F1 cabbages. I think we've got 3 greyhound and a row of red cabbages, and a little nasturtium, beautiful peachy colour in the corner. But the onions are now ready to harvest. But my onion rack at the moment is full. Look at Lucy. So they are drying and curing. So we've got another log raised bed in here. This one's got the Queensland blue winter squash growing in here, and in this bed grown with calendula and a bit of a few foxglove and some potatoes. Hello, sweetie. Also, I've got some sunflowers growing here. Lupin and sunflower, nasturtium, borage and gladioli. I planted these gladioli bulb this year. I am very curious if we're gonna have flower this year. We'll have to wait until the next garden tour. The iris is now gone over, and we've got all sorts in here. In this wall, we've got sweet peas this year. Smells gorgeous. All along the beautiful sweet pea. This is my first early potatoes. This is now ready to harvest. It looks dead, but this is meant to be. So it's, well, I'm gonna dig this up in a couple of weeks, probably end of July, beginning of August. I should really dig it up now, but I just leave it for a bit. And I'm probably gonna have in here some greyhound cabbages from the brassica cage, or red cabbages on the tunnel, the mesh tunnel. If you come over here, got some tomatillo growing in the top. All along here I've planted cornflower, all the calendula and the poppy are volunteer. I've planted the sunflowers. I've grown them from seed this year. Bless you, Toff. In here we've got a couple of rows of celeriac in this bed. Next to it we've got beetroot within all the dill and all sorts. Leek gone to seed, I left it. You've got 1 red cabbage forming in there. I've just planted last week, after we've harvested end of June, the garlic, the 2 rows of garlic from this bed, and I've just planted leek. And this is gonna be our autumn winter harvest. The next bed is a mess. It's gone over, so this needs to be dealt with. Some stuff needs to go to the chickens and the goats, and put an inch of homemade compost, and I need to plant it with our fall crop. So we've reached our next tunnel. and this looks amazing. So this is our bean tunnel, and on the end we've got some peas. You remember I had a hard time with these beans. I had to sow 2-3 times, but now it's in full glory and it's doing amazing. And if you look, got 3 different flowers, colors. So some of them are got this beautiful magenta, pinky color. Some of them are red and some of them are white. And they are all different varieties, and I'm not sure which one's which one yet because I had to sow so many times. So it's gonna be a surprise. I've planted just before we had a very windy day this beetroot. It is hanging on. That will be okay, I think, but I had some hard time. So I've harvested from here most of the garlic and just put little bits and bobs in here, experimenting with okra, aubergine, fennel, calendula, few basil, and I've also I'm keep putting more and more peas. So these peas now gone over. It had an abundance of crop, but again the dreaded pea moth were in it again, so we had some little maggots, you know, my usual problem. It wasn't that bad than last year. Last year I had to discard the whole lot. This time we managed to have quite a bit of meal, but I didn't have enough to preserve. So I've got some new generation growing in here, and then I've already sown some yesterday. I'm gonna try it as a fall crop. We'll see how it goes. So I'm not sure if you can manage to get through in this jungle, but this is supposed to be a path, but it's grown its own garden. So it just doesn't matter if you can step on it. But I really wanted to show you, look at this butterfly kingdom in here. This must be hundreds of butterflies on this oregano plant. They absolutely love it. Look at this. When I'm gonna get through it, you're gonna see them, how they're flying about. It's absolutely hundreds of them. Isn't it amazing? It's mesmerizing. It's like in a, you know, in like a little dream. I love it. I just love it. This is my herb garden. I've got all sorts growing in here. So I've got the oregano, I've got sage, lemon balm, echinacea, mullein, fennel. I've got some sunflowers, I've got tansy, mint. Also, I've made a mistake and I put 2 squash in here for some reason, but that's all overgrown, so that's not gonna happen. However, behind me, it's looking better. So I've got, this is my sweet corn patch, along with these sunflowers and squash and cosmos. So I can't remember now what variety of squash I have in here. I try to find the label. I think I've got 2 different varieties of squash growing in here. I think not sure, I have to check my labels. I think it's the sweet potato squash and maybe another banana squash. But we just have to wait and see. Hopefully by next garden tour we're gonna see some squash growing. Oh, what happened to this one? Oh, something ate it. This sweet corn. Well, yeah, I just found the label for this. This one is the, yes, this one is the sweet potato squash. I remembered it right. So behind us, Toffee and Sandy playing together. Oh, this is so cute. We had the chamomile patch in here earlier in the year, about springtime, early summer, and now we've harvested the chamomile. I've pulled it all up because if I would have left it, that would have just ended up with millions of baby plants next year. I've still got a few about. So I've planted a row of red cabbage and a couple of rows of kohlrabi in here. and this greyhound is from last year, and all those little plants are actually calendula growing. But I've also would like to put some more compost maybe, and I've got really nice cosmos that can come in here. If you come along, we've got 3 rows of parsnip, they're doing really well, another 3 rows of carrots. So I think we're gonna have a good for carrots and parsnip. I'm also thinking to sow, I'm not sure it is now too late for parsnip, but I think I'm just gonna have a go. I'm gonna sow some more seed, more carrot and parsnip seeds. Right, I think we've done our main garden tour. In this side, oh, I forgot to show you on the other side of the tunnel, I've got a beautiful row of shallots that's now ready to harvest. Oh, the wind is picking up. So, right, weather-wise, it's not been a warm July so far. We've also not had a lots of rain. We did have a good few days of rain, but I would say has been more dry months than wet months, and the nights are cold. I mean, for July we've had 5 degrees Celsius for one night. I've not remember having that cold in July before. So, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed my tour, and see you back in August. Bye, friend.